How's it going, everyone? I want to bring your attention to this Bitcoin update because as we have dropped back down to the lows of this range, we've had some news come in today. And actually this week we'll have a lot more news as it's the first Friday of the month coming up. This means that NFP, non-farm payroll, is going to be this week. We also have a lot of news coming in today, which is actually good news for crypto. So over here, the non-farm employment change was actually worse than expected. When you see this being red, it's not meeting the expectation set for America. And so this is bad for America. And of course, as we know, crypto is traded against the US dollar. That means that dollar should go down while crypto assets go up. And so if we move on to the next pointer, the unemployment claims, they have more than expected. Also a negative statement. They've actually got no color, but we can, if there's more claims of unemployment in the country and that's more than what they're anticipating, that's not a good sign. Here as well, this was not meeting the expectations. These are all bearish connotations for the dollar. But why is Bitcoin not immediately pumping? It's because there's still more news ahead, the FOMC meeting that will come in today. So let's now watch out for that. But also don't forget NFP on Friday. So really and truly, although we've got this good news so far, you're not going to get the true outcome until that Friday news hits, and then the market will decide. So until then, we're going to expect chop in the market. This was an expectation set as we were climbing back up, looking for the break of the high, pulling back to 65k. This is an area of interest to me because it's the 2021 all-time high over here, the first top, let's say, which was then respected. And of course, that's what we've been playing around. What we're trying to do is eventually flip this whole line into support, and you can see that it's not being respected so exact. And this is the choppiness that we expect at an area that we haven't visited in 3 years. So the process of turning this area into support, an area we haven't been to in 3 years, is going to take a long time. Already majority of this year has been spent in this location trying to flip it into support. And yeah, we've gone above it, under it, over and under. And of course, the expectation set in my Discord community, as well as in my last Bitcoin video, was that the moment we lose this, there's space and we're going to fill in that space. Meaning that my prediction set in my last Bitcoin update and in my Discord was met exactly as predicted. So as we've come down to a targeted area, we now expect a short-term bounce. That is exactly what we got. I've marked out all the lowest wicks of this current range, including where we just got our bounce from in the last week. And we've managed to reach a key resistance, the 20 moving average. So an expected rejection comes from this point because we are beneath it. When we pump up into it, you expect a rejection. What is actually entailing is that it wants to go to a new low below this low. What we need to see Bitcoin actually doing is invalidating that. So we want to see this area being maintained and actually eventually build up something like this. And this was the expectation set before losing 65k. Because if we had held this level, broken out, the next move was a new all-time high that could come within a month. But by losing this support, you prolong this period by 1 or 2 months. So that's why in this area right now, as I've been saying on my Twitter daily, we're just expecting boring, choppy price action where nothing's really coming out of anything. You're going up, you're going down, you're going up, you're going down, but you're all in the same area. And all we're simply waiting for is one of these areas of support, these key levels or resistance, to eventually give in. So the moment we're actually seeing this finally flipped in support, and that could still be a long way away. Look at how long it took just to create this bullish pattern and eventually come back down to that same area. So we need to develop that pattern once again. However long it wants to take, we can come down, dip our toe beneath, reclaim it and go up. It's not going to be exciting. And with Bitcoin, it doesn't have any marketing apart from itself going up. So that's how it sells itself, that's how it draws people in. When the market is going up, it's advocating for itself. People want to buy. It's like what happens with gold. Gold went to a new all-time high. Loads of people want to buy it. So with Bitcoin, the only reason why altcoins will start going up like crazy again As I said many months ago during this dip back in March and April, you could wait until you do your first dip buy when the a new all-time high is put in, because at that point there's no arguments anymore. And you can see, although we called the bottom exactly down over here and we built back up to the resistance, we have to reject it in the short term. So it's about maintaining the low that we just came from. We need to hold a higher low above this, and eventually the next move is a new all-time high. We will exceed $74,000, and that is still the expectation that I maintain, although you've been seeing chop all the way throughout the past month or 2 months. But we had this expectation set when we called the bottom on the same day at the same price of the bottom, because it was in a targeted reversal area, a first bottoming out target. There was potential for lower, but these are two areas. Just I look at them, I know there's 6 lines, but I look at them as two areas where you can bottom and reverse from. So when I saw 59k being reclaimed, I knew we were going to shoot back up to where we just come from. As it's resistance, you're going to reject it short term. Also, it being, again, this whole entire range is an area we haven't been to in 3 years. So it just makes sense that it's going to be very choppy and boring. Also, the fact that we knew if we are maintaining 65k, the previous first 2021 top, we were going to pump from here to break the high, and that could have been done in weeks. But by breaking down, you need to now build up for a month, for 2 months, just to start heading back up again. So it's very annoying that that's the case, because again, the only marketing for altcoins, for crypto in general, is Bitcoin going up. So we need Bitcoin to go up. We need a new all-time high, and at that moment, we're in the clear. There's no arguments is what I mean. Not in the clear, but there's no arguments. We're in the clear from the bears being bearish is what I mean. But for the moment, we're still maintaining this low. This is still considered a high low. We've had 3 bullish events in the news coming out already today. We've got one more FOMC meeting. This is 7 p.m. in the UK, so it is going to be different for you. And then don't forget that on Friday as well, right over here, we got non-farm payroll pretty much. So remember that until Friday, even though the current news is bullish, you're not seeing such crazy reactions. You just got a little move up from 59k, right? So because there's still news to come today, and while that comes out and it could be bullish as the other ones have shown to be, it doesn't necessarily mean this is going to fly up. I'd love it to do that, but again, a couple days down the line on Friday, you've got another news event where it'll be choppy again, and then the days after, the weeks after, it will truly react to that news. So that means that in this choppy moment, you could be getting moves up, you could be getting moves down. That's what you need to understand. But as long as we're seeing 56k being maintained, then the aim is that we eventually go higher. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Make sure on your way out to like, subscribe, comment and share. And do not forget, if you want to get mentored on a daily basis, not only am I supporting my Discord members, over 100 people in the community, even though we've been going down since March, we have maintained over 100 people in the community. And you must ask yourself why. It's because we're turning these people not only into self-sufficient traders, but self-sufficient investors. People that won't even need my help after they've been guided by myself. So I'm going to teach you everything that I know using the fibs, so you can mark out your targets wherever the market is going, down or up. You're always going to be aware of where the market is going. You just need to simply react. If we're bearish, you have the bearish targets. If we're bullish, you have the bullish targets. This is why we are never caught off guard. And the Fibonacci is the reason. I'm not saying it's the only way to go about trading or chart analyzing, but this is what has brought me all my success through 5.5 years of market experience. It's the Fibonacci's. They show you the path, and these levels act like magnets. That's why I was able to call this 56k bottom, because this is a bottoming out area where we expect a reversal, and that was the case. So similar situation right now. We've got this move up over here. We are coming into key areas of support, But if they don't hold, you can see there are already targets to the downside where you expect a very strong bounce from. So if you want me to teach you all of this, not only am I in there daily, I've got 2 mentorship live streams twice a week in there to mentor you into that self-sufficient trader/investor. If you want access to my portfolio, how I split it up, all my buy alerts and all my thoughts on a daily basis in there to keep you cool, calm and collected, join the community. The links are found underneath this video in the description, and it's only £20 a month. I think that's $25. I'm not charging anything extortionate, and this is probably why I always maintain a high amount of students. Thank you so much for tuning in. Cheers, everyone.